Did everybody do this week? Tonight we're going to be talking about my top 25 on Trader Joe's, and I definitely want y'all to chime in and let me know what your favorites are from Trader Joe's. But first I wanted to say thank you for being patient and letting me be off last week. I mean, I know this is not a job, but still. You know, thank you for letting me take a little break last week. We went to for my 50th birthday, and I don't turn 50 for, I think it's 9 more days. But anyway, I turned 50 on June the 13th. But my husband took me on an amazing adventure for my birthday. We went to Marineland, which is just outside of St. Augustine, Florida. And he took me there to be a dolphin trainer for a day. So when I skipped out on you all last week, it was because we were at the beach. We were at Volano Beach on Sunday night, and then we went to Marineland all day on Monday. And hey, Casey. We went to Marineland all day on Monday, and let's see. Oh yeah, Casey says she made it on time. Yes, you did make it on time. But anyway, so again, we were lazy last week, or not really lazy. We made a 60-hour turnaround trip, and oh, and Meredith says she's so excited about this Trader Joe's video because even though the nearest one to her is 2 hours away. Sorry, Meredith, it's worth the trip though, I promise. But anyway, and hi Shirley, she's joining us live. But anyway, so thank you guys for being patient last week while we did the 60-hour whirlwind trip for my birthday. And my birthday is not until a week from Tuesday. So I'm still holding on to 49 for dear life. But anyway, tonight we're going to talk about my top 25 at Trader Joe's. And I just need to let you know, this was like really, really, really hard. And hey, Karen from Long Island said she missed us last week. I missed you all too. Not really. I was at the beach. Sorry. Sorry, I was having a good time without you all. But anyway, so this is going to be my top 25 from Trader Joe's. And I have to tell you, this was really hard. It was really, really hard just to pick 25. So I kind of cheated and I clumped a couple of things together so that I could still squeeze them in. I did make some cheat notes, and y'all are going to see them as we're talking because we've got a lot of stuff to cover tonight. And also, since I just had to pick... yeah, Dorothy says, hello, yay, Trader Joe's, yeah, yay. So since I had to pick only 25 things, I made a cheat list, and I only made one recipe for tonight. So I usually like to cook for you all, but Trader Joe's is going to be really, really long, even though I've narrowed it down to 25, to my top 25. And so my housekeeping, like always for the week, is to let everybody who's new to our chat know this is a live Facebook chat. So if you were watching this later, don't think I'm crazy. Yes, I'm talking to people because they are talking to me. So sorry, this is, if you're watching this after the fact and it seems weird that I'm, talking to people. And hey, Joyce, it's her first time watching live. Good. But for all of you all, who are going to be watching this later, yes, it was live. And yes, I am answering people. So if that drives you crazy, too bad. You should have been here live. But anyway, so everything will be transcribed. So everything that I'm talking about tonight will be available later on my blog. And thank you, whoever just did the thumbs up. Y'all know I love the thumbs ups and the hearts. And the thumbs ups and the hearts on here for Facebook. The more of those you do, the more often this will show up, and that will help me to do more of these. So if you did enjoy tonight's, live chat on Trader Joe's, I hope that you will do thumbs ups or hearts, because that'll help me to be able to do more of these. If you did not catch us live, or if you, and thank you whoever's doing a whole bunch of them, but if you didn't catch us live, and you're watching this later here on Facebook, or if you're watching it on YouTube, on Facebook, you still can do the thumbs ups and the hearts, and thank you guys for those. If you're watching it on YouTube, please remember to like, share, comment, or subscribe, because that'll help me to do some more of these. So anyway, we're going to jump right in. Transcriptions will be on www.IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. And Casey, if you're still there, if you'll just type that down here, that is my blog, www.IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. And let's jump right in. Hey, Karen. So we are talking about, let's see, Dorothy said she just tried the yeast on her corn and she loved it. So even though the yeast does not appear in my top 25, sadness, this is my top 25 for Trader Joe's. So even though it does not appear in that, we will talk about it very briefly. So again, we're going to jump right in, and thank you, Casey, for putting that up, www.IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. So this was super hard for me to pick my top 25, and hey, Tina, super hard for me to pick my top 25. I've made a cheater list, and just, you know, don't think for a second. And hey, it's Tracy's first time watching live too. But anyway, I'm going to quit saying hello. I'll say hello to all of you all later, because if I don't get going, then we are not going to get finished tonight. I will try really hard to be finished in an hour. Believe it or not, I've already been talking for 5 minutes. I don't know how that happens, but anyway, remember, all of this will be transcribed later. There's no reason for you to take notes unless you just want to. It'll all be transcribed on my blog later, and you'll be able to print it out. So no problems. So again, top 25, super, super hard, because you all know I love Trader Joe's. So we're going to jump right in, and I'm going to show you my first few things. First of all, Trader Joe's, if you don't know, is owned by the same people that own Aldi. And they are, you know, kind of known for their fresh fruits and vegetables. So I listed that as my number one, is their selection of fresh fruits and vegetables. And obviously I couldn't put everything on here, but just from the trip that I made yesterday, and thank you all for wanting to do this, because, you know, oh, how sad, how pitiful, I had to go to Trader Joe's yesterday. Wah, 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 poor pitiful me. So I am lumping fresh fruits and vegetables in as one item. So I know that's kind of cheating. But one of my favorites in the fruits and vegetables, they're Persian cucumbers. These are little tiny cucumbers, and they're seedless, and I eat them peel and all. And they're delicious. They're delicious in salads. They're delicious by themselves. Also really good with you know, the tzatziki that we get from a store that we're not talking about tonight. I will just say this: Trader Joe's is not my favorite place to get tzatziki. I know that's, you know, part of y'all are going, but this is supposed to be Trader Joe's. That is one thing that I don't buy there. But the Persian cucumbers are great in that. Great in salads, in chicken salad. Really good in the, you know, some of the hummus dips. So those are a favorite. This is the corn. I use this corn from Trader Joe's, or I use the one from Aldi to do the crazy corn, or the candy corn. So everybody that's talking about putting yeast on their corn, I'll put this recipe up on the, I'll tag it on the blog, www.IfYouHaveAnEgg.com, but I'll tag this on there. It's the corn from Trader Joe's and from Aldi as well. It's really good in the candy corn. Right now is cherry season, in case you didn't know that. So Trader Joe's is chocked full of strawberries, cherries, blackberries, blueberries, raspberries. Thank you, Casey, for putting the blog up. Everything that you can possibly think of, every kind of berry that you can think of. And Casey, this is for you for tomorrow. You can see that I made you this giant bowl, container, whatever you want to call it, of strawberries, of fresh strawberries and fresh cherries. And for those of you who didn't know it, apparently I'm going to be a grandmother at the end of the year, and Casey, who so kindly puts up our the website for me, the blog for me, she is going to be the mother of that grandbaby. So Casey, I have pre-prepared that up. Thank you, Casey. She is going to be the mother of that child. So I have pre-washed some strawberries and oh, and good. Holly says that I appeared at the top of her newsfeed immediately after it threw me off. So yeah, good for that. I'm thankful for that. But anyway, so a little bit of, I'll just do the housekeeping again since we got kicked off. If you wouldn't mind to the thumbs ups and the hearts, that helps me to be able to do more of these, because then they appear more often. If you're going to be watching this on YouTube later, if you could please like, share, comment, or subscribe, and that will help me to make more of these as a YouTube video. So again, Casey's pregnant. I'm going to be a grandma. She's going to be a mom. So I have pre-washed these beautiful strawberries and cherries for her. And Trader Joe's also has this fruit and vegetable wash, and that's what I was talking about when the internet kicked me off, or Facebook kicked me off or something, I don't know what. So maybe it didn't like the fruit and vegetable wash, so we'll get off of that. But I did a cheat sheet, because this is going to be hard to only have the 25. So I'll move Casey's strawberries and cherries out of the way. She will be a lucky recipient of those tomorrow. So next on my list is, well, you can see I have a whole bunch of Trader Joe's stuff here, and all of this will be transcribed after we're done. If the things did not appear on my top 25 list, you'll just have to ask me about them. But the next thing on my list is, the people ask me this all the time. They'll say, where did you get the stripy bacon that's only 1 point? And I get that at either Trader Joe's or Aldi, or I get the Applegate brand, but the one from Trader Joe's is an uncured dry rubbed sliced bacon. And you can see it's, you know, it has a little bit of the marbling in it, but this is 1 smart point per slice. And it's 2 smart points for 2 slices, 3 smart points for 3 slices. Not sure what happens when you go to 4, but this is what I use when I make the bacon wrapped asparagus. And I'll post that recipe later tonight, but this is really good. It cooks up good in the air fryer. If you put it in the air fryer, you're going to need to cut it in half and then lay it in the bottom of your air fryer basket. And I cook that on, I think it's 380 for 8 minutes, but I'll put that on the transcripts for this too. And again, the transcripts will be on www.IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. And hopefully we're not going to get kicked off the internet again. I'll just go ahead and say, if we do, please join us back again. So that's the first thing on my list, mixed fruits and veggies, and they have lots of organic ones. That is, you know, that was first on my list, and I kind of clumped those together. I want you all to chime in too, though, if you all have any Trader Joe's favorites, because again, I only picked 25. So I could only pick 25 of these, you know, in order to try and attempt to keep this at an hour. So if y'all have any Trader Joe's favorites, because everybody will be able to see this later, thank you for posting that, Casey. Everybody will be able to see this later. People are going to be watching this later. Please do post what your Trader Joe's favorites are so that they can see them. And if you don't have a Trader Joe's near you, I am so sorry, because I love them. Obviously, because of how much, you can see because of how much I eat. So the next thing on the list is the Trader Joe's ciabatta rolls. So these the ciabatta rolls come 4 in a bag, and they are 5 smart points for 1 ciabatta roll, and they're pretty good size. They used to come, these are I believe they're 75 grams is the weight. And and Cheryl says she's never been to Trader Joe's. Yes, ma'am, you need to find one. And Mary, you need to drive across the border. There are several people from Canada who drive across the border just to come to Trader Joe's and a couple other things. But the ciabatta bread, they used to be 57 grams, and when they were 57 grams in weight, they were only 3 smart points. Now they are, I think it's 75 grams, that is how much they weigh. It's a little bit bigger roll, and they are 5 smart points. So if you had been buying the smaller ciabatta rolls before, just know that they are 5 smart points, because when I first started buying them, there were 3. Anyway, I just don't want anybody to be confused. They are 5. They also have ciabatta demi baguettes, and they have ciabatta olive demi baguettes, and those are I think it's like 4 to 5 smart points for about 1/3 of one. But these are delicious. This is actually what we're going to use for the recipe, the only recipe that I'm going to do tonight. But again, ciabatta bread, absolutely delicious. These are really good just with a little bit of olive oil spray, nonstick spray, and some bread dipping seasoning or some other kind of seasoning. So that doesn't add any points to it, but they're absolutely delicious with that. That's one of my Trader Joe's favorites, and I'll be showing you some things to make with that, and you can see my little Trader Joe's cheat sheet here. The next one, savory thin edamame chips. And I have these with my little grip sticks. Y'all know how much I love my grip sticks. But these are savory thin mini edamame crackers. And these are so yummy with some of the hummus dips, with the tzatziki again. They're yummy by themselves. The savory thin edamame chips, 38 of them for 3 smart points. And let me open this here real quick if I can do this with one hand, if I can get this grip stick off here. I wanted to show you what size these are, because 38 is a lot. That's a lot of chips. So here you can see in the bag, this is what size the chips are. So that's just 3, and that's almost as big as, as my hand. So 38 of them is quite a few. And to be honest, when I eat them, I rarely eat the entire 38. I usually eat about 20 to 25, but 38 is 3 smart points. And again, this will all be transcribed. It'll be on www.IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. You can watch this later here on Facebook. You can watch it on YouTube, or you can see it from my blog. And it'll have all the smart points on there, so you don't need to worry about taking notes. You don't have to worry about writing everything down. It'll be in a format that you can print it out if you need to. So those are the savory thin edamame chips. The next thing, so the top 25, in case I didn't mention that. the top 25 are things that I keep here all the time. So I always have these Trader Joe items on hand. There are a whole lot of other things that I buy at Trader Joe's, and onesie twosies, or just when we're in the mood, or whatever. But the top 25 are the things that I keep here all the time. So the next one is their Trader Joe's multi-grain O's cereal, and these do not taste like Cheerios. I know they look like Cheerios, but they are a little bit different, and you get a whole cup for 4 Smart Points. And and Donna says that she went to Trader Joe's last Friday and she bought 6 of the cauliflower pizza crusts. Our Trader Joe's did not have those yet, so Donna, sadly, I'll be living vicariously through you because I have not tried them. But the Trader Joe's multi-grain O's cereal, you get a whole cup for 4 Smart Points. I like the flavor better, and I like the price better. If you've never been to Trader Joe's, you may not realize this yet, but their prices are pretty darn good. I'm not going to say that they're, the cheapest of the cheap, and Aldi, a lot of times has better deals, but it's pretty darn, competitive. So they do not use any coupons, but they are competitive to our other to our other major chain stores here. With the multi-grain O's, my very favorite granola that they have there, Trader Joe's has tons of different kinds of granola. They have different, they have lots of different cereals, but this one is my favorite. It's the Just the Clusters Maple Pecan Granola Cereal, and if you all know me, you know that I went to Trader Joe's, I don't know, it's probably been a month or 6 weeks ago, and they didn't have this, and I just stood there and stared at the guy. And he kept saying, and they're very, very helpful at Trader Joe's. In case you haven't been there, they are extremely helpful. They are super busy. If you watch them, if you just stand there and watch the people for a few minutes, they are constantly running back and forth, restocking shelves. If they're out of something though, if you see something on here and they're out of it, you might want to ask about it, because if they're out, sometimes they'll just remove the tag from the shelf. They won't even, thank you for the thumbs ups. But sometimes they won't even leave the spot on the shelf, I guess because they don't want it to look empty. So if you see something on here that you don't see at your store, be sure and ask them about it, because they can let you know if they're getting it in. And a lot of times they'll tell you when they're getting it in, so you don't even have to, make a special trip. You'll just know. But anyway, so they were out of the Just the Clusters Maple Pecan Granola Cereal that day, and the poor stock boy, I was like, but I came here just for that. And he kept saying, ma'am, we'll be getting some day it was, and I was like, yeah, but I'm here now. And I kept following him around. Oh yeah, and Karen says when it comes in, they'll call you and they'll hold it. So I didn't even know that. Thanks, Karen. But I kept following him around, and I was like, yeah, but I really want that. I need that. And so he kept assuring me that they were going to get it in, and I said, but I want it tonight, because I also use the Maple Pecan Granola Cereal. I use it in some of my baked apples, and I combine it with their things when I'm being lazy, that I combine the multigrain O's cereal. I'll use 1 cup of that, and I'll use 1/8 of a cup, which is 2 tablespoons of the maple pecan cereal for 2 Smart Points. So it's 4 Smart Points for a cup of the multigrain O's, 2 Smart Points for 1/8 of a cup or 2 tablespoons of the Just the Clusters Maple Pecan Granola Cereal, and then I use 1/2 cup of unsweetened almond milk, and a lot of strawberries or bananas or something like that, and it makes a huge bowl of really, really good cereal. The Maple Pecan Granola Cereal, just 2 tablespoons of it really kicks up the flavor with the multigrain cereal, and that's for 6 Smart Points. So that's a favorite, though. That is a definite favorite. And that, if I had to pick, so I know I'm talking about my top 25, but these, especially the Just the Clusters Maple Pecan Cereal, that's probably in my top 5. I always have that, and I panic a little bit when they don't have it. This next thing is not for the faint of heart, and actually this was a special request from the mommy-to-be Casey for this week. I always keep this on hand, and there was a little period of time there where I think I was selling our Trader Joe's out of this because I kept talking about it so much. And I went one day, oh yeah, and you can see, and Casey, this one, see this unopened bottle? This one's yours. So that one's coming to work tomorrow for you and for baby Bohannon. But I was, so anyway, I was talking about this so much that our Trader Joe's kept, they kept selling out of it. And I went in one day, I had like I think I had an open bottle of it in the refrigerator, and then I had an unopened bottle of it that I'd already bought. But our Trader Joe's was down to like 2 bottles, so I panicked and I bought another bottle. I don't know why I panicked. It wasn't like they were never going to have it again. They definitely had it again, but this is not for the faint of heart. It's definitely spicy. You can see that it is sriracha and roasted garlic barbecue sauce. It is not for the faint of heart. It's not low in points. 2 tablespoons is 3 smart points, and I'm going to show you one of the things that I do with it. I didn't actually make any, but I'll show it with something here in just a minute. If you don't, if you can't stand the heat, I mean, this is 2 tablespoons is a lot. It's hot. I like hot stuff, but it's pretty spicy. If you don't like hot stuff, they also have a Kentucky bourbon barbecue sauce that is delicious. But it is, for 2 tablespoons, it is 4 smart points. So again, this will all be transcribed. Later, I'll go up there and type it up. It'll be on www.IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. So that is the organic sriracha and roasted garlic barbecue sauce. 2 tablespoons is 3 smart points. Or if you can't stand it spicy, then they have the Kentucky bourbon barbecue sauce, 2 tablespoons for 4 smart points. And Taylor is right. She says that stuff is amazing. But I'll show you something to do with the hot one here in just a few minutes. Then we have the reduced carb whole wheat tortillas. And you'll hear me say sometimes when I'm talking about making stuff, I'll talk about reduced carb or low carb whole wheat flour tortillas. These are 1 smart point. Some of the other brands that you get in a regular grocery store are 2, 3, even 4 smart points, even for a reduced carb kind. The Trader Joe's is 1 smart point. And these are really good. I use these a lot to, I use my secret recipe scrambled eggs and make like a burrito, like a breakfast burrito with them. You can stuff them with a whole lot of stuff. I'll get the even though these did not make my top 25, the Trader Joe's string cheese, mozzarella string cheese, and their uncured black forest ham is really good rolled up in these. You can, lay one of these down, put some spinach in it, put a couple of pieces of the, oh yeah, Karen says she keeps these in the freezer and they're a staple for her. Yeah, definitely. At 1 smart point, I mean, yeah, why not? But I'll lay one of these down, put some of the Trader Joe's baby spinach in there, and then a couple of pieces of the uncured black forest ham and one of their string cheeses, and roll it up, and it's a perfect roll up, and that's perfect for work. So these are 1 smart point. Again, it'll all be on the blog later. And so let's see, that's the reduced carb whole wheat tortillas. Then this is the only place that I found it. Trader Joe's is the only place that I have found coconut oil spray, and this is 0 smart points. I use this one on anything that's sweet. So when I use the reduced carb whole wheat tortillas, sometimes I use these to make just a cinnamon sugar wedge, and I'll post that recipe with this transcript later. But if it's going to be sweet, then I use the Trader Joe's coconut oil spray, because sometimes the olive oil spray just doesn't, just doesn't hook up with something that's sweet. So the coconut oil spray is what I use when I make anything that has the little phyllo shells in it, or for the and Karen says she uses this kind of spray when she makes the chocolate waffles. Yeah, so the chocolate, and Shanna found coconut oil spray at her Aldi. So Trader Joe's and Aldi are owned by the same company, so that makes complete sense. My Aldi just doesn't have the coconut oil spray yet, but I'll watch for it there for sure too. But when I make the cinnamon sugar wedges, and when Karen makes the chocolate waffles, since those are sweet, the coconut oil spray is just better than the olive oil spray. And I don't like the plain sprays. Like, I don't buy the just no flavored ones or the butter flavored ones. I don't know why, but anyway, so the coconut oil spray, 0 smart points. For a light spray of that is a staple. I think last week after I had been, I accidentally ended up with three cans of this in my pantry. So this one's, almost used, but I still have 2 more up there, so there's no risk of me running out of that anytime soon. The next thing, I'm going to switch to something frozen. I'm going to reach over here and grab it real quick. Hold on for me for just a second. And again, sorry for skipping back and forth, but I had to make myself a list so that I could actually keep up with this, since I could only pick 25, and so that we could make it in an hour. This one I keep in the freezer. I always keep in the freezer, and it's the Trader Joe's extra fine French green beans, haricots verts, if anybody can speak French. Anyway, so obviously these are French green beans, and I apologize, my husband got another phone call. But these are French style green beans, and they are 0 smart points because they're green beans. And hey, Jenny from Texas. So you can see those in there. Definitely do keep these frozen. Don't forget and leave them out. I've had them out for a few minutes getting ready for the chat, but don't leave them out too long. They definitely need to stay frozen. I use these for my down-to-earthy green beans, and I'll post that recipe later when I post all the transcripts on www.IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. These are absolutely the best green beans, hands down, and I think because they're frozen instead of being in a can, they keep their they keep their flavor better. So I definitely love those. Those are a staple at our house. 0 smart points, again, because they're just frozen green beans. Okay, we have only made it through number 10, and it's already 8:29, so I'm gonna have to start talking really fast, and I know I say that every single week. The next thing, show of hands. If you've ever been to Trader Joe's, you have probably purchased chili lime chicken burgers. I want to see how many people. So show me, either do a thumbs up or a heart, or just shout out. If you haven't had anything else from Trader Joe's, I am almost guaranteed that you've had a chili lime chicken burger. These things, that's so funny, when I first started going to Trader Joe's, it was like, everybody was like, we were like, what do we get, what do we get, what do we get? And hands down, I mean, everybody said, oh, you have to have the chili lime chicken burgers. And I was thinking, what on earth? But they're so right. If you don't get anything else, if you do not buy anything else at Trader Joe's, you have to get these. One chili lime chicken burger is only 3 smart points. And they are so good. I will say this, people ask me if they taste like cilantro because they do have cilantro in them. I haven't had anybody who doesn't like cilantro not like these, if that makes any sense what I just said. I mean, they have a little bit of cilantro in there, but it's not overpowering, so I don't think you're going to have trouble. I've only heard one person, ever, say that they didn't like them, and that person just has to be crazy because these are probably the best thing that they have there. Chili lime chicken burgers, 3 smart points. You can't go wrong. You cannot go wrong with these. So if you go to Trader Joe's for your very first time, or if you have to drive far away, definitely take a cooler. I've got a Trader Joe's cooler bag, but take a cooler and some ice because you're gonna want some of these, frozen things. But yeah, the chili lime chicken burgers, awesome. They also have salmon burgers, tuna burgers. They've got all different kinds of burgers. But these are 3 smart points. And again, that'll be listed in the transcripts later when I get that put on www.IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. So yeah, that's a really good one. I also use their cold brew coffee. This is a coffee concentrate, and y'all would pass out if you saw how much. See how much of this is used? I used that for one, I don't want to call it a cup of coffee, but I use that for one basically serving of coffee. So this tumbler I filled up to here with ice, and then I put some, I don't know, it was probably about a half a cup of unsweetened vanilla almond milk in there, and then I put some caramel syrup flavoring, which the caramel syrup flavoring I did not get at Trader Joe's, but then I used that much of the coffee concentrate. Yeah, so I'm thinking you're not supposed to use that much at one time, but I did because I like my coffee that strong. And so tonight, I always sip something during our chats because I get dry talking for an hour. So this is what I'm sipping tonight. So it's it's Trader Joe's cold brew coffee, and the cold brew coffee by itself is 0 smart points. And it's a good price, and it's delicious, and I just cheated and took a sip. So cold brew coffee, that's in my top 25. That's definitely in my top 25. And let's see, what is next? Oh, Trader Joe's has a lot of different kinds of pizza. They have a lot of different frozen pizzas, and they're pretty good. A pretty good price. This one is our favorite one. Again, I do not speak French, so tarte au brie et tout. I don't know how to say that, but it is a pizza. But it is a very thin crust pizza with brie and tomatoes. And Joanne says I'll be up all night because of the coffee. Joanne, not a problem. Not a problem, because after we get off here, I've got to go transcribe all of this. Then we'll be eating supper, and then, trust me, I'll be ready for bed. But this particular pizza, my husband and I almost always split them and have them with a salad or something, and that's what we had for lunch today. So half of this pizza, I mean, and this is a regular, size pizza. It's not huge. It's not like a, carry-out pizza or something, but half of this pizza is 12 Smart Points, and trust me, it is worth it. And the one that we made today, I added a little bit of fat-free feta cheese, and we'll talk about the fat-free feta here in just a few minutes, but this one is definitely a favorite. We try to always keep one of the Trader Joe's frozen pizzas in our freezer at all times. So that one is a favorite, and again, that'll be transcribed later. So we have, that's the tarte au brie. Now this one, what I'm getting ready to show you next, is a new favorite. So I didn't even know this existed until a few weeks ago. The tomato feta soup, I bought this. I put some, it was some little cheese crisp, things on top of it, and had that for lunch 3 days in a row, or I had it, let's see, I had it for supper one night and lunch 3 days in a row. And actually, one of the days that I had it with this. So I had, for supper one night, and I'm sorry, let me tell you how many Smart Points this is. So the tomato feta soup, 1 cup of this is 5 Smart Points. So for dinner that night, I had 1 cup of this, and I put some nutritional yeast in it. And don't start asking me about nutritional yeast, because that's a whole nother, discussion. And hey, Alan, good of you to join us. But so I had a cup of this for 5 Smart Points, put some nutritional yeast in it to add a little bit more cheesy flavor. And then I took one of the ciabatta, the Trader Joe's ciabatta rolls, and I just put a little bit of nonstick spray on it and some bread dipping seasoning and toasted that in the oven. And so it was 5 points for this, for the ciabatta bread, 5 points for the soup, and I had a little salad to go with it. And so for like 10 or 11 points, absolutely delicious dinner, and it all came from Trader Joe's. So that was nice. But this is a new favorite. Trader Joe's has a lot of different kinds of soup. But this one definitely hands down my favorite. And I'll tell you, the last time I went, so the time before this that I went straight to that spot, and it, not only was it empty, they had something else in its spot because they were out. And I had a little, I just had a little tiny meltdown. Oh, and Caroline wants to know how many points are in the nutritional yeast. For 1 tablespoon of nutritional yeast, it is 0 Smart Points. So for less than that, it's also 0 Smart Points. But anyway, so this is a new favorite. 1 cup is 5 Smart Points. Definitely loving that though. Definitely loving that. And let's see, the next one. This one has been a favorite since day one. This is their Trader Joe's sauerkraut with pickled Persian cucumbers. So you remember the little cucumbers that I showed you when we very first started the chat? Actually, that was the first chat before it chucked me off the internet. So these have the little pickled Persian cucumbers in them. This is 0 Smart Points, and it is raw and fermented sauerkraut. It's got a really mild flavor. You don't have to take it out and squeeze it before you put it in things. We put this on a lot of the Trader Joe's sausages. They have a bunch of different kinds of chicken sausages. They've got meatless dogs, and we put this on a lot of things. And we also use the Trader Joe's brown mustard on that, and that didn't make my top 25. The sauerkraut did. The hot dogs didn't even make or the chicken dogs and the meatless dogs didn't make my top 25, but the sauerkraut did. This one's a good one, but it's 0 Smart Points. It is in the refrigerated section, and you do need to keep it refrigerated, but it's 0 Smart Points. Then we have, let's see, okay, these, where'd they go? Hold on, I'm hunting for something. Okay. So again, when I first started going to Trader Joe's, everybody kept saying, "Oh my gosh, get the, the frozen riced cauliflower. You have to get the riced cauliflower. You have to get the riced cauliflower." And we were all going crazy over the riced cauliflower, and we were all fighting each other for the riced cauliflower. And that was another time that I was stalking the Trader Joe's guy that was, stocking shelves, because we were all on the hunt for the riced cauliflower. And one of the times, or the one time that I actually found it there, I mean, I'm talking months and months and months went by, and they didn't have any of it. So when they did have it, I think I bought like, it was like 10 or 12 bags of it at one time. And the guy was like, oh my gosh, we're gonna have that for a while. I said, no, you won't. When I come back next week, you will be sold out of it, I promise. And he was like, no, man, we ordered plenty of it this time. Not kidding, when I went back the next week, they were sold out of it. So never trust boys when they, they don't understand, Weight Watchers when we clear out a shelf on something that we like. Okay, but what they have now, hold on. So what they have now is in the fresh department, they have riced broccoli and riced cauliflower. And we do not have all night to talk about what you do with these, but both of these, it's literally just broccoli that has been riced. So it's the consistency of rice and riced cauliflower. So again, it's the consistency of, it's a little bit thicker than rice, but these are great in stir fries. There's a whole bunch of recipes that you can make with these. And actually, I think it's, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's Emily Bites that that has the most recipes that I've seen with this. So you might try Emily Bites. I think it's emilybites.com maybe. And let me think what the other one is. There's another one that has a lot of recipes for this, but we do not have time to sit and go through all the recipes. But these are a must keep. Just understand this kind, both of these are in the fresh produce section. These are not in the frozen, so you need to use them, fairly soon, or you need to freeze these bags. But yeah, those are a new favorite, just in the fresh produce section. So rice cauliflower, rice broccoli, 0 smart points. Okay, now this one you might think is kind of a crazy one because this is not food and it's just water. But the Trader Joe's Natural Mountain Spring Water, I get the giant bottles. If you can see how big this is, look how big this bottle is. It is 1.58 quarts. And I try to keep these and keep them at work, so that I can drink that whole thing at work. It's 50.7 fluid ounces in that. The reason I like it, a couple of reasons that I like it. First of all, it just tastes like water. It is mountain spring water. I cannot stand recycled filtered water. I'll drink it when I have to, but I much prefer mountain spring water. And I believe all of the Trader Joe's, I believe they have them bottled near wherever the location is. I'll have to double check that, but I think I saw that. I think I saw that somewhere else. But again, just tastes like water, doesn't taste like salt, doesn't taste like it has any chemicals or anything, and it just tastes like water. It doesn't even taste like plastic. And they are so inexpensive. Like that huge bottle, I think is 79 cents if I'm not mistaken. And the little bottles, the ones that are like this, where's the bottom of this? The ones that are like that big, they're like 20 cents for a bottle of water. And these do also come in I think it's a 6 or an 8 pack that have a flip top, in case this one's too big. And I think they also come in a gallon, but it's just good. It makes my top 25 because it's just a nice, just a clear water. It's just tastes good. And they're inexpensive. Okay, and then next we have another frozen one. And this one for you girls that are vegetarian or vegan. Let me see if these are actually vegan. Oh, they are. Okay, so for you girls that are vegetarian or vegan, or you just like an occasional meatless meal, or just like something that's delicious, the meatless meatballs, I keep these in the freezer all the time. They are for 6 of the meatballs. It's 3 smart points, and they are regular size meatballs. It says a delicious way to substitute, or a delicious soy substitute for meat. So these are soy, in case you have any issues with that. But these are really good with, you guessed it, meatless meatballs with the sriracha roasted garlic and barbecue sauce. So I'll put these in the slow cooker. You can't pour a half a bottle on there. Some people would be tempted, but you're going to set yourself on fire if you do that. But the meatless meatballs with the sriracha barbecue sauce, really, really good. Also good with the Kentucky bourbon sauce. But you can put these in the slow cooker, and then you can make like a grinder. That would be really good to have all of that. And where did I set them? And then open face, one of the ciabatta rolls. Like open face it and put the meatballs on there. Would that not be yummy, yummy, yummy? So it would be 5 points for the ciabatta roll. It would be 3 points for 6 of the meatballs, and then however much of the barbecue sauce you used, and you would have a meatball sandwich that I promise you, friends and family alike will eat. They will eat them, and they will be jealous if they didn't get a chance to eat them. Okay, the next thing is another frozen one. This is their medium shrimp. So Trader Joe's cooked shrimp medium. I keep these from either Trader Joe's or from Aldi, either one. And I use these. This is what I use in my shrimp and grits breakfast. Well, you don't have to eat it just for breakfast, but I use this in my shrimp and grits, and I'll post the recipe for that with this transcript. It'll be on www.IfYouHaveAnEgg.com later. But these are also great in a stir fry. Trader Joe's has a lot of stir fry vegetables. They've got a lot of, different stir fry options, but this is a really good one. It's not terribly expensive. They're medium. It's not terribly expensive. It's a good price. They're a medium size. They are peeled and deveined. The tail is already off, and they're already cooked. So if you just wanted to put them out with a little bit of cocktail sauce or something, you could try that. Oh, and Tracy wants to know if you can put those meatballs in the air fryer. Well, guess what, Tracy? I haven't tried that, but now that you've said it, I'll be trying it. I will try that, and I'll let y'all know how that turns out. But so I keep those shrimp on hand. The next thing, y'all know what a hard time I have hard boiling eggs. So I try to keep the Trader Joe's, or if I have to go to a regular store, I'll get Eggland's Best. But when I get to go to Trader Joe's, they have cage-free, they're fresh cooked, hard cooked peeled eggs. That's hard to say. And 1 egg is 2 smart points. They also have cage-free 100% liquid egg whites, and it tastes just like eggs because it's an egg. And it tastes like egg whites because they're egg whites. So the eggs, again, 2 smart points. These are great to keep in the refrigerator like at work. We grab them and go for breakfast a lot. And and Karen says she always keeps these hard-boiled eggs in the fridge. We do too. And now that Casey's walking around with baby Bohannon, she has been keeping already cooked hard-boiled eggs at work because her tummy's starting to mess with her. And this is a good thing and a good source of protein for her to eat. So you'll see me use these a lot in the mornings, and sometimes I'll put I'll go ahead and slice them and put nutritional yeast and some bacon on top, or just some pepper, and they're really good that way. The egg whites I use in the egg mugs. And Nora, I don't know if it's for 2 eggs. I don't know if it's 3 smart points or 4 smart points. I'll have to scan that, and I'll try to remember to put that on the transcript when I type that tonight. But the liquid egg whites, I use those in my egg mugs. I use those for the Waggos, and we had Waggos for breakfast this morning. Yum, 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 yum. But I use them, for that, or I keep those on hand for baking. So I try to always have these in the refrigerator, and always have the already cooked hard-boiled eggs. So those are good to keep on hand. And we are already at 8:47. So I'm going to keep talking really quickly because there is one thing I want to show you how to make before we get off tonight. The next thing is, okay, and Shauna says that the Weight Watchers app calculates for 2 of those hard-boiled eggs 4 smart points. Okay, that makes sense. I think the Eggland's Best come up as 3 smart points, but I'm not sure why on that. I would probably still count it as 4 smart points. Okay, so Trader Joe's, let's just talk a second. So I haven't done a lot of time talking. I've just been talking at you and showing you things. The Trader Joe's has a whole lot of different kinds of dips, hummus, all kinds of stuff. There's an entire section when you go down that first row, the first refrigerated row. Actually, it's the first row in the store, but the first refrigerated section, you make it about halfway down past all of the bagged spinaches and salad blends, and they do have lots and lots and lots of fresh, fruits and vegetables. A lot of them are organic, and you make it about halfway to maybe 2/3 of the way down, and they have all these different kinds of dips, and I love many of them. I love many of them, and I love many of their hummuses. But remember, I could only pick 25 things for tonight and still keep this to as close to an hour as I could get. So this is the one that I chose, and it is the artichoke and jalapeno dip, Trader Joe's chunky artichoke and jalapeno dip. And this one's really good on vegetables. It's good in celery. It is good on it's good on the savory thin edamame chips, wherever I put those. I've set those over somewhere else. Anyway, it's really good on those. It's good. Carrots are good dipped in it. And the one recipe that I'm making tonight, we're going to be using the artichoke and jalapeno dip on it. And y'all are going to be super jealous because that's what we're going to have for supper. Now, supper's not going to be until about 9 or 9:15, but still, that's what we're going to have for supper. That is the serving size is 2 tablespoons, and it's 2 smart points for 2 tablespoons. It's 1 smart point for 1 tablespoon. And what I made tonight, I used 2 tablespoons in total, but split it up, 1 and 1, and you'll see that in a few minutes. But this one is a really good one. I'm telling you, trust me, 2 tablespoons for 2 smart points. That's a deal because it's really, really good. And if you can see it, it's good and chunky. It's got nice big pieces of artichoke in it. It's really good. And it's artichoke and jalapeno, and it's not super hot, so I don't want to panic anybody that doesn't do, spicy stuff. It's not that hot, but it's really good. Okay, we're getting down to the wire. So I'm going to show you I'm going to combine these two. Trader Joe's almost exclusively has my business now on dressings. Oh, and Casey said she heard Dusty. Seriously? Did you hear him shaking? That's all he was doing, was just shaking or scratching, whatever. He got, here, let's look at him real quick. Hey, buddy, come say hi. Sit. Sit. Say hi to everybody. Everybody look at Dusty real quick because he got a bath. And you can see my toenails. Sorry about that. Look up. Look up, buddy. Say hello. Dusty says hello, everybody. And y'all can see his clean hair, his very clean hair. Okay, so let's go back to this. But anyway, so Trader Joe's has my exclusive business on, pretty much my exclusive business on dips now. I mean, not dips, on dressing now. These are 2 of my favorites. I honestly probably have four different kinds of Trader Joe's dressing in the refrigerator right now, I think. If anybody who used to eat green goddess dressing back in that was probably in the 70s, I guess. So now I'm definitely telling my age, but show me some thumbs up or some hearts if you remember the green goddess dressing that you used to be able to get way a long time ago. Well, this tastes exactly like it, or at least what I can remember, from that far back. But it's just called goddess dressing, and for the Trader Joe's version, it is for 2 tablespoons. It is 4 smart points, but you don't really need to say, so a lot of you all are the same age as me because I'm seeing a lot of thumbs ups. 2 tablespoons is probably pretty generous. I usually use 1 tablespoon, and 1 tablespoon is 2 smart points. This is delicious and creamy. It goes great on all salads, and it is a definite favorite. My other favorite is the sriracha ranch dressing, and so this is ranch with sriracha in it, and it is 2 tablespoons or 3 smart points. And again, I rarely ever use 2 tablespoons. Usually I just use 1 tablespoon, but this is good on salads. It's good as a dip for the Persian cucumbers. It's good on potatoes. If you do some air fryer potatoes, or do some air fryer French fries or something like that, it's really good on that. And these are just two of my favorites. He's okay. These are just 2 of my favorite dressings from Trader Joe's. They have several, but these are 2 of the good ones. They also have a fat-free balsamic that I think is 2 tablespoons is 1. It's just 1 smart point. But anyway, you definitely want to check out their dressing section. Okay, now down to the last 3 things before I show you the recipe for tonight. And actually, we were doing great on time. This is a first for me that I think just because I had to so over prepare because I was nervous about how long this would take since it was Trader Joe's. Okay, I don't eat fat-free I don't eat fat-free cheese, and I don't eat very many things that are fat-free. Most everything I eat, like most regular cheese, most everything that I eat has some fat in it, even if it's just a minuscule amount of fat, because I just don't like the taste and the texture of a lot of fat-free things. These are 3 of the only fat-free, not low-fat, 3 of the only fat-free things that I do consume. And that is the Trader Joe's fat-free crumbled feta cheese. And that is for 1 ounce. It's 0 smart points. A tablespoon's about what I usually use, and it is 0 smart points for a tablespoon. I'm going to show you that used on something here in just a minute. And then the fat-free sour cream. If you don't like fat-free sour cream, I promise you're going to love this. I don't know what they do to it. I don't know what kind of Trader Joe's magic they have going on, but their fat-free sour cream is absolutely the best I've ever had. I will not eat. I'll eat other low-fat sour cream, but I will not eat any other fat-free sour cream. This alone is worth the trip if you like sour cream. This is two tablespoons of this. 2 tablespoons is 0 smart points. 0 smart points for 2 tablespoons. That's crazy. 2 tablespoons is enough to put in chili. That's enough to put on a potato. I mean, there's a whole lot of things you can do with that, and it's 0 smart points. And then finally, the ricotta cheese, the fat-free ricotta cheese. I always have this in the refrigerator. I use the fat-free ricotta cheese, which is one tablespoon is 0 smart points. If you get above 1 tablespoon, it starts to be well, and this one above 2 is points. But if you get above 1 tablespoon, it starts to be points. But it's not many. I mean, it takes a lot to be. It takes quite a bit to start being points. But I use the fat-free ricotta cheese from, and notice it's Trader Giotto's because it's, Italian, whatever. But anyway, so I use this on the Waggos. I used it this morning on our cinnamon and sugar Waggos. And the recipe for the cinnamon and sugar Waggos is on our blog. It's www.IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. And I use those on the Waggos, and I also use it in my egg mug cups. Those are also on the blog, www.IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. And the fat-free ricotta cheese, because it's such a mild flavored cheese, you can use it use a lot of different flavors with it. You can make it savory, you can make it sweet, you can do a whole lot of different things with it. But this one is a must-have in your refrigerator. Okay, now, I have 4 minutes to show you what we made. So all this came from Trader Joe's, and I know I didn't talk about vegetable broth, I didn't talk about different seasonings, I didn't talk about turkey jerky. They do have nutritional yeast now, but all of this came from Trader Joe's. And again, this is just a small sample of what I buy from there. And all of this will be transcribed here in a few minutes. We've got about 4 minutes left, and all of this will be transcribed when I head upstairs. But this is what I made, all with things that I got at Trader Joe's tonight. So this is, oh no, and Carol said her Trader Joe's discontinued the rub. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry about that. But this delicious meal that we will be having as soon as we get off here tonight was made with all Trader Joe's things. This is one of the ciabatta rolls, and actually I have a recipe for this on my blog, and I'll post that with the transcripts. But it's www.IfYouHaveAnEgg.com, and if you so when you get on there, if you search artichoke, you'll find this. And let's see, so this is made with one of the ciabatta breads. Oh, hold on, Tracy said what rub? So Tracy, this is the rub that she was talking about. It's the Trader Joe's barbecue rub and seasoning with coffee and garlic. They've got lots of other seasonings though, so you'll be fine. You can find something else. So this is made with one of the ciabatta bread, so that's 5 smart points. And then it has 1 tablespoon of the artichoke and jalapeno dip on it. And then it has some of the Trader Joe's mozzarella. They have fresh mozzarella there. And it has 1 slice of the dry rubbed sliced bacon. It has 1 slice of that on there. Of course, that was cooked very well and then crumbled up. And Trader Joe's also has Baby Bell cheese. But anyway, the recipe for this is, it's already on my blog. This recipe is already on my blog, but I will tag it again in the transcripts here. But it's the jalapeno, artichoke, bacon, something or the other flatbread, but I'll tag it again on this. And then I'm gonna take about an ounce, again, of the crumbled fat-free feta cheese, which is, and you know, it's about not quite a tablespoon, what I just put on there, and put that on my salad. This is all from Trader Joe's, so this is Trader Joe's baby spinach. Then their cruciferous crunch, which I know I did not put that in the top 25, but I'm cheating and adding some things here. So the cruciferous crunch. Then it also has their sliced baby portobello mushrooms, which I always keep on hand, and I use those again in my egg mugs, and I use them sometimes on my Waggos. And then it has just a little bit of the, I just put that on there, the fat-free feta cheese. And it has some strawberries, and it has the fresh strawberries from Trader Joe's. And now the only thing I have to decide is whether I'm going to put the goddess dressing on there, or if I'm going to put the fat-free balsamic dressing on there. Okay, and Shauna wants to know, what was the crunch? It's called cruciferous crunch, and I'm going to make y'all stop looking at this. So the crunch, okay, Shauna asked what the crunch was, and so even though it didn't make it into my top 25, I use it a lot. So, oh, pardon me while I get really close to the camera while I get this out of the refrigerator. But it's called, and I know y'all can't see the top of the bag because I have one of my grip sticks on there, but it's called Cruciferous Crunch, and it's basically just a whole bunch of different kinds of crunchy things. Like it's got shredded Brussels sprouts and a couple of different kinds of cabbage and things like that on it. So what quick questions do you all have, because it is 9 o'clock and we've been cooking the artichoke, bacon artichoke flatbread. We've been cooking that, so it's smelling good, and we're getting hungry because we haven't had supper yet. So do y'all have any quick questions? Did y'all enjoy this one? Would you want me to do another Trader Joe's one later? Of course, this is my top 25, and maybe I could do like a Trader Joe's recipes or, you know, something like that. But anyway, so I'm going to start wrapping it up. Don't know what we're talking about yet next week. Just want to remind everybody that this was a live Facebook chat, and looks like some of y'all would like to have some more Trader Joe's, you know, ideas. And I didn't even touch on it. Didn't even touch on, you know, on everything they have. It's definitely worth the trip. Definitely take, oh, and Carolyn says also Aldi. So there is an Aldi chat. In case you all missed that, you can go back and find it on the blog. But yeah, definitely take a cooler bag or a cooler itself, and yeah, and be patient. So the first couple of times that I went to Trader Joe's, I didn't have any idea what I was doing. It kind of irritated me, and you can read about that on the blog too. I won't bore you with it here, but yeah, it's a definite you know, must go. So remember, if you come back and watch this later, please do thumbs ups and hearts so that it'll show up more often, and you'll be able to find me again later. Please be sure and follow me here so that it'll notify you when these are live. And then if you watch this later on YouTube, please like, share, comment, or subscribe. And I would love for you to subscribe, but that way you'll get notifications, and it will also let me do more of these. And thank you all so much for all the thumbs ups and the hearts. There's like a whole little flurry of them. I wish you all could see them, or I guess you can see them. But anyway, so we're getting hungry, and some of this frozen stuff that I've taken out needs to be put back up. So I'm going to go ahead and say bye now for this week. And thank you all again. Thank you everybody for being here, and I'll see you again next time. And sorry for the technical difficulties. We'll keep working on that, but thanks, and I'll see you next week. Bye.